All right, I think we should get started. Hi, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm the lead Adobe specialist here at the University of Arizona. How's everybody doing? I like it. Enjoying the little bit of spring we get here in Tucson, if you're in Tucson. um, so what we're going to talk about today is making web pages through Creative Cloud Express. Has anybody here made one before? Maybe when it was called Spark before, Spark Pages? Jill's made one. Adam has. Excellent. Allison, wonderful. If you've gone to one of my workshops, you'll see that I use them for every single workshop that I do to create a quick and easy to access resource. So they are used in many ways. My favorite way is as a resource, but teachers, I've seen them use them as kind of ongoing journals, reflection journals, where students post their work and answer reflection questions, to build portfolios, to create a presentation for a specific topic or purpose. And I also see them as just general portfolios for people because they're so easy to make and share and consume. I really enjoy them. When I was teaching high school photography, it was how my students submitted their photographs to me. So they would have a running Spark page that they would, well, it was a Spark page then, it's an Express page now. They would have a running page where they would post their project plans, and then I could approve them, their proposals. And then they would post their final projects with their reflection and rubric self-grading. And it was really nice because their work was accessible anywhere for them and for me too. So this is probably going to take 30, 40 minutes to look around, especially since you've already used Express pages before. I'm going to hit on all the aspects of it. And I think maybe one thing that a lot of people that have made them before haven't utilized as much are the anchor links that let you create a page that can be navigated. Again, these are super informal. Please ask questions as they come up. If there's something you want to know that's loosely related to the Adobe stuff, I will do my best to answer it. We might table it until the end, but that's what I'm here to do. And I always enjoy questions, comments. If you've done something interesting with Express pages, I always love to see that too. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the resource page. Sorry, I'm moving my windows around. And you'll see there are 4 topics we're going to hit. What are CCX pages, which I kind of already talked about. You go to express.adobe.com, you hit the plus, and you choose web page. And they are free, cloud-based, easy to use, and can be shared instantly, which is really important. One small caveat is if you're making them through your university Creative Cloud license, if you ever leave the university, you'll want to create a separate account and share and duplicate all those pages on your new one, because they will, if your account becomes disabled, the pages will disappear. They don't get deleted, but they get taken offline. So it's a great way to create beautiful, engaging, fast-loading websites, and they can be used in so many different ways. You can see mine has navigation. So let's go ahead and start making a page. I didn't really think of what we would talk about. Maybe we'll just make a page about saguaros. So this resource page I sent to you is where I will put the recording, and everything I talk about is on here. I actually probably won't spend any more time here until I talk about anchor links. So let's go ahead and jump onto express.adobe.com. You can see I made my welcome image on there too. So Express is a web-based app. You don't need to install it. You just need to have working internet and be able to sign in. Got a notification here. Interesting. Sorry, I can't leave those little notifications alone. So when you're in the splash page, there's a lot you can do, but for what we're doing today is we're just going to the plus and we're going to web page. And these web pages are single page websites that just scroll from top to bottom. And they are, I can't remember the word. They are aware of your device, so they will resize to be accessible on a smartphone, on a tablet, or on a full-size screen too. So they are dynamic in that sense. They're media responsive, I think is the word I was looking for. So when you jump in here, The first thing it asks you to do is to create your hero image, that big welcome image that tells them what website they're seeing, if you have a subtitle and anything like that. So I could say, we're going to talk about saguaros, Carnegie gigantea, I think, scientific name. Very big, tiny fellas, right? So we can have fun with it. And then before you can continue, well, that's not true. You can continue from here on, but every time you see a plus, that means it's your opportunity to add content. And where that plus is will determine what kind of content you can add. So here in this hero in the header of my website, I'll click plus and I can just add an image. Someone joining. When I add an image, this is actually pretty new. They used to let you search, I think it was pixels, and then you could search Adobe stock as well, but it wouldn't license them for you, and you would get images with watermarks, and it was kind of unsavory. Now Adobe stock is really nicely implemented. So you can search Adobe stock, which we all have access to. So if you see something, let's go ahead and search. Oh boy. Sonoran Desert. Anything that doesn't have a crown, you can use whenever you like. If it has a crown, it means it's premium content that you need a CC license to use, which we have. So let's say I like one of these. Well, that's a good one. This one. Now I've added my hero image. I have a title and a subtitle. And actually, at this point, you might want to decide your theme as well. So not a lot of people have noticed that in the top right hand, you have a theme where you can choose a different aesthetic for your website. So these pages aren't highly editable. You have to work with what they give you, but that's what makes them super effective. They load fast, they look good no matter what you're adding in there. So right now it's set to light. If I choose medium, I get different fonts, different embellishments. It's dark. There's some more whimsical ones that we'll do. Oh, there's one called Whimsy. So it depends on what kind of what your narrative is and what fits your theme, if you will. So those are the themes. And you might have noticed on mine, I have brand themes because I went in, and maybe if you want to see this, I'll show you at the end. I went to the university brand website and I got all of the color codes, the fonts, and the logos that I use. And I built out a brand in Express that it then applies throughout different aspects of it. So this uses the actual university colors for me. And if you look at the very top, oh, maybe I didn't put my brand on this one. Usually it says digital learning up here. I don't know why it's not doing it. We're not going to worry about it. Okay, any questions about themes and the initial layout that we have? And you can change it on the fly. Nothing is forever. You can make your changes throughout. All right, so we chose, I think it was someone's name, Bruce. Bruce is our theme. Now scroll to start writing your story, because that's what you're doing. You're telling the story. So now you're adding a content block. And content blocks can be a full image. It can be a video from YouTube, I think Vimeo, I don't remember where else, or Creative Cloud. And these content blocks can also be layouts, like a split layout where you put an image on the side and you actually can put text, images, links, videos on the other side, or glide show, which is the one that I use the most. So let's go ahead and add a glide show. And what a glide show is, it's an image or a series of images that have motion built into them. And when you scroll through the page, animations will occur and your content will show up. So if we look at this page, this is the hero animation. And then here's a glide show where I chose this nice image here. Not really relevant to anything, I just liked it. And as I scroll up, the content block shows up. And all of these are glide shows. You can see here, the image has an animation. This quotation text has one too. So let's head on back. Let's just keep putting saguaro pictures. Ooh, that's a cool one. And I can also upload my own image here too. So you don't have to use the built-in ones, but it's pretty nice the way it's built in. So now I have a hero image and a glide show with a content block. And this content block can be left, centered, or right. And in here, you'll see that our good friend, the plus sign. So I can put a text that says, unrivaled giants of the Sonorants. And what you'll notice is, I don't know how to type, but if your text goes beyond the content block, it depends on your window size because it's dynamic. But if you enter down, it's just adding a different block of text. So it's not quite like using a word processor. So just kind of put it in your mind that the layout is very much decided for you and you're deciding how to use those existing elements to your advantage. So within this text, I can choose H1, which is the biggest, H2. I can choose the quotation style, which is different for every theme. Bulleted list, numbered list. If I don't want a list, I just click it again. I can have standard text, bold, I gotta highlight it, bold, italicized. I can add a link and I can justify. So that's the gist of what you can do with text, which is actually plenty for a very nice, easy to consume website. So this is a header. And you'll see within this content block that is on top of the glide show, I can continue to build this out. I can put a video. Do I have a good video? Saguaros. Best Saguaro National Park. Great. So I copy this YouTube link and I paste. And now I have a video. I could add a body of text here. Ipsum generator. So if you're not familiar with a lorem ipsum generator, it's just filler text that's in Latin. It's a really nice way to work with design without having to have your copy ready. So I could say 3 paragraphs, copy and paste. And now I have this video and maybe a short article about saguaros. Are there any questions so far about anything I've done? I've added a glide show. I put an H1 heading inside of there. I added a video and I added text underneath the video. And this is all in my glide show block. And within here, I can bold words. I can italicize, and I can add hyperlinks too. So you're not stuck with just a wall of text as well. You can make it a little bit more dynamic. Did I add a quote? I could add a piece of quote text. All right. And then this is how you could continue to build out your story through the web page. I'd like to show you how a single photo looks. So now we're going to add a new content block. So we were adding things inside the glide show. That's what these pluses are. If we go to the very bottom, now we're adding our next section, which could be another glide show. But let's do a photo. And let's choose, for some reason it doesn't let me delete, but that's okay. Bats. Let's see if I can get a bat eating out of a saguaro. Oh, it's too bad. Wishful thinking. Okay. Cactus fruits. I know it's not a saguaro, but we'll just have to let it be for now. So when you put in a single image, the image will have choices within it. It can be inline. It can fill the screen. If you click back on it, it could be a window within there, so it scrolls. It can be full width, and just show parts of it. And then you can move it to different parts of your layout, which you can't do for the other ones. So that's interesting. But you might have noticed that depending on the layout option, you will have different ways to add content. So inline is just an image that you can put text above. So H2, this root, pretty good. And underneath it has the option to add a caption here, which can be italicized, bolded, or a hyperlink. And then I can add things below. If I change it to fill screen, the caption goes on top, and window, the caption also goes on top. But you don't have a content block like with a glide show. You can't continue adding. And one thing to note is these spaces in between, they don't show up when you publish your website. So if we preview it, you'll see it's actually spaced out very nicely. And the cactus fruit is right on top of the image because it's top to bottom. All right, let's close the preview. And I'm gonna keep giving you guys the grand tour, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask them. Continuing with images, I'm gonna go back to photo. Oh, just kidding. I'm gonna go to photo grid, where you can create an entire grid of images. That's not a cactus fruit. And again, you can upload your images. I'm using the stock images so that we don't have to wait for me to upload them. And it will display it as this nice little image mosaic, which again, you can put a text above. And when a user clicks on one, let's go ahead and go to preview. So this is what they see. It is a nice slideshow for them too. So if you're thinking of using this as a presentation tool, this is a nice way to show a series of images. And I don't think they've added captioning to the actual image yet, but you can at least put alt text to make it ADA accessible, a little more ADA accessible. All right, and then the next layout that I like to use is split layout, that it puts an image on one side and then you have a regular content block on the right-hand side. So for example, that's a good one. So then I have my regular options here. I could put title text. I could put another image here. I'm just searching for whatever I like here. Ooh, wrong kind of spines. That's funny. And I can put text, or I can put a button, maybe National Park. And buttons are meant to be links. So that's, we'll see how we use them with anchor links as well. But now I have this split layout. I have a photo grid, a single image, a glide show, and a hero image. And with the split layout, you can switch which side the image is on. That's about it for what you can do with them. Okay, excellent. I think that's the gist of the kind of content you can add. Do we have any questions about adding things to an Express page? So next thing I'm going to do is talk about sharing and publishing. Let's add another slideshow. Okay, let's talk about anchor pages, anchor links. So I've created, let's change this to an H2. I created kind of a website skeleton. And when you create an image, a web page that has navigation inside of it, it's kind of a weird reverse process. You can't add the navigation until you have defined each section and actually published it. So you have to publish an unfinished website before you can go and add the navigation. I guess you could finish the whole thing too, because what anchor links do is they pull these URLs anywhere that an H1 or H2 text exists. So let's look at this for a second. If we look at the word welcome here, if I hover on it, there's a link here that is automatically made, and it is my web page, #welcome. Agenda has it too. What our CCX pages has it, and anchor links has it too. So we need to publish a page for these links to be real. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to kind of talk about two things at the same time. So when you are ready to publish your website, or to at least demo it, you go to Share and Publish and Share Link. And I made a mistake on this one that I made. It's called Portfolios with Adobe Stock, and they should have been called, with Adobe Spark, it should have been called Web Pages with CCX. And you only get one chance to get that right. Otherwise, you just duplicate the page and publish it again, which is not a big deal. So this name's fine. I could choose a category. If you want credit for who made it, that's great. And something I really like is it automatically gives photo credits for the photos that you used. So now we're going to publish it. It creates a live link. So now I can put this link in the chat and anybody can look at this web page as I built it. Copy. This is also where you can find the embed code. So if you have a web page, if you have an LMS that allows embedding, this could be a nice way to put these to use with minimal effort. I think we have some embedded Express pages on our adobe.arizona.edu page. All right, so I've copied it because what I want to do now is pull anchor links and build navigation. So you saw it. Here's the digital learning logo. How do you get the embed code? Excellent question. You go Share, Publish and Share, and you click right here, Embed. And I believe, no, it's not iframes anymore. It's something else. So yeah, it's in the Share, and you just click Embed right here. Okay, let's build some navigation into here. So I guess what I want to do is add an agenda or table of contents and put video. I'll just do a bulleted list. Photo, slideshow, resources. Is that what I have here? Let's have a look. Video, image gallery, resources, unnamed section. Okay, so when you're creating your navigation, you need to have some sort of navigation section where people will click to get there. So in this case, I just called it a table of contents. It can be as dynamic and beautiful as you like. It can be a series of buttons, but it has to be somewhere where you can put a hyperlink. So it has to be text or buttons. All right, now let's go down here, and the video is here, Unrivaled Giants of the Sonoran Desert. So if I copy the anchor link for this section, and I go back to video, I can select it, click the hyperlink, and paste it in, Command or Control V, and then we'll go to Cactus Fruits next. So go to my live website, come down, hover on Cactus Fruits, click the anchor link, it copies it, come here, hyperlink, paste, and the image gallery. And ideally, the names of your content would be the same as where it takes them, which I'm not doing a good job of here. All right, paste, and then resources. And then something I like to do is I like to create navigation to jump back to the table of contents so that people don't have to scroll through your super long web page. Let's hit save. So right now I added this after I published the website. So when I come here, even if I reload it, any changes I've made are not live yet. So I don't have my table of contents, which would be right here in between here. And this is, I think, when I taught students, this was one of the biggest roadblocks was students would go and create a page, they'd publish it, and it looked great. And then when they went and added more content, they wouldn't go and publish it again. And they would have all this beautiful work that I couldn't see because they hadn't updated the link. So I'm kind of hitting the last 2 points at the same time, the publishing and anchor links, because they rely on one another. So when I've made changes, I have to go back to share, publish and share, and I have to click this update link button. And when I click that, my changes will be updated to that link that's already been made. I think it would be nice if Adobe could add a button up here that said update link so that it was more obvious, but I guess once you know, you know. So I will reload. And now we have a table of contents that takes me to those anchor links. So if I click resources, oh no. Well, if I click video, it goes, maybe I didn't do resources. Cactus roots. But let's add the navigation back to table of contents. Let's copy that. And what I like to do is I'll just add a little text that says back to contents, italicize it, and make it a link back. And I just do this in a few places that make sense. You can name it whatever you like. It can also be a button. You know, it's your design, it's your choice. So here, if I did a button like this, and the design depends on which theme you chose to. All right. And you can put, you know, sometimes we just put back. Whoa. And somehow I did this one wrong. So let's go back and get resources. Perfect. Okay, let's see what happens now. So I've made a few more changes. I added links to take you back to the table of contents, and I fixed the resources link. So let's go to share, publish and share, and update link. And if I reload, oh, the reason it wasn't working is because I was already on resources. That's why. Okay, so now video looks pretty good. Back to contents. Photo slideshow. Back to contents. Resources. And back. What do you think? How do we feel about anchor links in publishing? Pretty good. Have you guys used these before? Or are you ready to use them? Awesome. Love the thumbs up. Great. And I think adding this adds a whole lot of functionality that isn't there when it's just a single infinite scrolling page, where it can be really useful for resources, presentations, and portfolios too. So awesome. I think the last thing I want to show you is what your projects look like, kind of managing them, and a few things that you can do with them. So let's go back to express.adobe.com. I don't know why it's grayed out like that. So when you go to projects here in Express, you can create folders. I don't remember how anymore. Oh, there it is. So you can organize your websites and projects by folders. You can search them. And this is also where you can go and you can, maybe I can rename. Anyway, let's find out. I'm nosy. No, let's see. Doesn't work. Okay. So you can rename the name of the project. If you click here, you can duplicate it if you want to make a different version of it for, a purpose-built version. You can delete and you can even unpublish. And the share button lets you publish straight through here, but there's also invite, which you can see down here as well. So I can invite anybody who has an Adobe account to work on this website with me. The only caveat is that I can't have it open at the same time. So if I'm working on something with a team, I can say, hey, this is ready. This section is ready for you to go add your content to resources. I can close it and someone else can open it, add all of their stuff. The owner is the only one who can publish it, but it's a really nice way to put something together without having to find time to all look at it at the same time. And the duplicate is an important thing if you are wanting to keep your web page, even if you leave the university, you would share it with yourself. And then when it shows up, like here, I have projects shared with me. Let's say I don't want to lose this video editing basics, I would duplicate it because you can see actually all of these have been shared with me, but the account that shared them with me, Brian, if you remember, is disabled. So I actually need to copy them over to my own account to be able to do anything with them. And I think that's the gist of it. Is there anything else we'd want to see? Do we want to see the little brand builder, or do we have any questions in general?
Hi, Alex. I have a question. This is really for like media, but what if you just want to build like a basic repository of just PDFs, just containing data, like lists of PDFs, but you don't want anything complicated, like a, to go into like Dreamweaver or anything. Can you use that? Can you use this for that?
So that's a really good question. As far as PDFs go, you actually can't upload PDFs yet. So what you might do if you wanted to just create an easy access point, I've done this in the past where I wanted to have an easy way for everybody to locate files. And what I did was through some sort of drive, right? Box, Google Drive, OneDrive. That's where I put all of my PDFs, Excel files, Word docs. And then I just made buttons on the CCX page that link them to those resources. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. And I'm not sure if that's the ideal way to do it, but that's how I've done it in the past. And then the brand builder was where you can input your logos, your PNG files or EVS, SVG, and have them readily available for part of your design. So here on the home page, if I go to brands, you can see I've created a digital learning brand where I can upload logos. So for example, let's say I go to brand.arizona.edu and I want to put the U of A block logo on there, applying the brand logo, and I can download it right here. So here's a few versions. Maybe I was looking for this. And I'll just get the PNG. Okay, perfect. So over here, I can add this logo. And any design space I'm in Creative Cloud Express, it will be readily available for me to drop in there. This is the default one, so that's the one it puts on my web pages. So here it says digital learning. But the other thing you can do is upload your colors and your fonts. Like, you know, the U of A has very specific brand identity. So I found the university colors here, and I uploaded them using so let's go back to brand.arizona.edu, colors, and I just copied the hex code, and I think I have them all in here. Well, let's go ahead and add this mesa. So I copy hex, and I can click plus and just put the hex code there and save. And now I have this collection of approved university colors. I don't know why that won't scroll, but that's okay. And this is where you set your primary color, which I chose that university red, I believe. That kind of looks like a secondary one. Anyway, and then what this does is it builds those custom themes. So like here, I can actually build out more page themes. I've actually never been here before. This is interesting. Oh, this is new. So you can go and create a custom theme based on the brand that you've determined. It'll put the colors in there. I don't know if it uses the fonts. It might. And it puts your logo as well, which is, I think, super useful. And I'm excited to play around with this, but I won't do it right now. And it's for videos, and there's more around here too. So I think this has been super useful for me to quickly create materials. Sometimes I'll start something in Creative Cloud Express and then finish it in Illustrator or Photoshop, but it's pretty nice. There's also a logo builder. I'm not sure if that's what, which is not, it's fun. You can quickly create a pretty good looking logo. My cactus business is called Cactus, and my slogan is Finds for All. And then you choose your style. I think most people would say I'm very elegant, so I'll choose that. And how do you add a Spark compilation, like a graphic that you made in Spark? Okay, so basically you would just download it as an image and then upload it. So here, let me use this. Let's just choose a cactus here. And let's say I like this one and customize it. So anything you've made in Express, you should be able to open it up from your projects panel. And sorry, something walked by. And then you just download right here. So if I download as a PNG or JPEG, I'll do solid color. Then when I'm in my design space, is this my design space? No, I left it. Projects. Edit. Then I can go ahead and add it as an image, however I like. It could be a glide show. So, I mean, this is going to look silly, but if I upload my cactus logo, it is loading, I think. Yeah, there you go. So it can be like a background glide show like that, or it can be a single image or any of the other ones too. So if I just do photo, upload, big cactus, it can just be a standalone image in whatever way I like. Does that make sense? Does that help? Excellent. Happy to hear that. And we've got plenty of time for questions. If you feel like you've gotten what you need and you're ready to go on with your day, I won't be offended if you head on out. I'll be hanging out here for anyone else that still needs questions. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you make some interesting pages in the future. Thank you. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. Hmm. Oh, Allison, we've been emailing. I was like, that name is so familiar. Hmm. So what I would recommend is yes, but don't use the embed code because that's meant to be viewed within unless you can like a D2L uh, forum embed. I would actually just use the share. So share, publish and share link. I've clicked update link to save it. But yes, once it's published, anyone can see it. So I would just use this first link, the copied one, and then anybody can click on it and see it. But only the people who have the link, right? It's not published out in the world. It's not in a list anywhere. Uh, just the link. They would just submit this link to you. So they copy this and they go to D2L and paste it in and send it away. Yeah, and what I would do, I would use this one. I made a whole section on this page that says publishing and sharing your page. So I'm going to put it right here. And I would use this example, but, or yeah, I'm sorry. If you've already made an example, that's what you would do. You would hit share, publish, copy that link, and then put it in D2L and anybody can click on it and view it. So right here, it's share. You're very welcome. And as you're kind of poking around, if you don't find the answers and the resources, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'm always happy to help.